What's going on with that? All right, y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Let y'all come on in, and we're gonna have these EdTech talk real quick. Now everybody wants to call me. So, what's going on, y'all? This is Derreka the Diva of Education. Come on in because we having some EdTech talks today, and I even did a little homework for y'all. I put it in the back so y'all can know everything that we're talking about today. And literally today we're going to talk about what EdTech is and what that means for you. So come on in if you are a current or if you are a current educator, make sure you drop the Apple so I can know I got my teachers, my educators, my assistant principals, all those type of people in here. And if you are definitely on the other side, you are in the EdTech space, drop that laptop so I can know who I'm talking to out here. But come on in the room, everybody. What's going on, y'all? This is Derreka the Diva of Education, and I'm just excited to be here. So if you don't know who I am, or you're new to the community, because this is not a page, it's literally a community. If you're new to the community, I'm Derreka Shelton, aka the Diva of Education, and hey, EdTech buddy. I love this space because I'm meeting so many dope people. When I say meeting and e-meeting, whatever. I am Derreka the Diva. I spent 15 years in education, moved all my way up to being an assistant principal, did the teaching thing, did the coaching thing, instructional coaching, all that. And then I made the pivot to EdTech. And one thing I'm doing, I'm not gatekeeping. I am definitely letting you guys know about the beauty of EdTech, because any educator that's in here, they will tell you they love it here, right? So telling y'all about the beauty of EdTech, but also getting the information out there, because a lot of people don't know about it and they don't know that this space is literally made for them. So come on in the room. I'm meeting so many dope educators slash ed tech buddies, and like this page is going to be everything that I'm dropping for y'all, so y'all can get up out that classroom, get off that campus, and make your way over to the ed tech space. So again, come on in. We are going to get started. I'm not going to be long, but I'm always going to drop some gems for y'all. So the way that you support me is make sure you tap that like button and you guys just interact with me so I know what you guys are in need of and I can give it to you guys. So we're going to start off with the idea of EdTech, right? EdTech is a buzzword that so many people are finding out about, but the thing about EdTech is it's been around forever. The technology has definitely progressed through the years, but EdTech has been here, and one thing about it, EdTech is definitely here to stay. So I see there's a few people out there that when they think about getting into EdTech, they're a little nervous. When they think about like if it's stable, teaching and education is something that is like very reliable. You know that you're gonna have a job, all that good stuff. And with a lot of the budget cuts that's coming, I know some people are really concerned about making the move into EdTech. And one thing I'm going to say is this is if you have the skill set, you can always get a job. And if it doesn't work out, you can always go back to education. The education ain't going nowhere. And trust me, with all the people leaving, they going to need some good people. So if you're willing to bet on yourself, this is a very safe space because you use EdTech every single day. So you're making sure that bill gets paid every single day. So if you're just coming in, I'm literally just getting started. So y'all came at the perfect time. Today, our title is What is EdTech Really? And I'm giving you some ins and outs for those people who are interested in EdTech, trying to get their feet wet and trying to figure out if this space is for them. And if you are an educator, this space is for you. I don't want you guys to freak out and get nervous about it. This space is definitely for you. So if I have any educators in the chat or anything like that, make sure you guys drop what is it? An apple. Make sure you drop an apple so I know the educators that are in here. And if you're looking to get into EdTech, make sure you drop a laptop so I can make sure I'm giving you the information that you need. Drop that in the chat. So EdTech is short for education technology or educational technology. And these are the apps, the learning system, the learning management system, things of that nature that you use in your classroom. So if you think about it, these are things that you're using all the time. And when I say all the time, think about how you take role. You know what I mean? Think about how you help students who need intervention. Think about how you track your data. Think about how you store 504 plans and SPED accommodations and things of that nature. All that is EdTech. And the districts typically have a contract with those companies to where they're there for either a year, years, and so forth, right? So EdTech is something that is stable and you use it every single day. So, and EdTech, when you think about it, it's not just like teaching on Zoom or stuff like that. Like I said, it's real live tools that you use in schools. So if you know of any EdTech, like what are the EdTech programs that you guys are using in your school? Drop them below because I'm going to prove a point to y'all. If you could think of any ed tech that you have in your classroom or on your campus, drop those and I'm going to tell you a little bit about those companies. Skyward, yes. So if you use Skyward, that's literally how you take your attendance, your grades, all that type of stuff. That is literally an ed tech company. Educator, come on in the room, girl. Come on, that's my other ed tech buddy right there, and she about to be an ed tech. She is, because I'm gonna get with her. We're about to make some things happen. Schoology, all those type of things. Those are ed tech companies. And think about it, y'all have been using Schoology forever. Schoology been around since we started logging on, right? Canvas and Canva. Canva is now in because they have Canva education. So all these things are literally ed tech, right? So, and some of them are more so the learning management systems, the LMSs, and we'll get to that piece a little bit later, but all of them. So it's just software and apps. And if y'all know it's 2025, we can't get away from technology. It's here to stay. So that just goes down to my next piece. Y'all literally jumped. Y'all are smart in this class. Y'all jumped into it. So your Canvas, your Schoologies, Google Classroom. I got my notes down here, y'all. Kahoot, Ed Puzzles. Yep, she said it. Kahoot, Ed Puzzle. Even your Remind 101s. I know it's not Remind 101 anymore. It's just Remind.com. Remind, Quizlet, Talking Points, Class Dojo. All these things are ed tech everything, right? So when you think about it, you're thinking about it's just an app. That's an actual company that literally facilitates districts around the world, and not just around like the state, around the world, right? So these companies are truly thriving and they're not going anywhere. So when you think of EdTech, I want you to think of stability and stop being afraid that, you know, if you leave the classroom that, you know, the world out there, you're not going to be able to keep a job. But no, stop that. That is limiting behavior. We're not going to start that. So what are some EdTech companies that are hiring, right? Because that's the main thing that people always want to know. And I want y'all to know what I found out, that this is hiring season right now. When we go back to school, we think that's hiring season. No, what's hiring season is the season before we go to school. So that summer break, that's when everybody is getting stuff ready, right? Everybody's getting stuff ready. They're prepping things. So when you come back to your campus, you're ready to go. So if you're trying to do implementation, if you're customer success, anything like that, you're prepping to get all of these programs and all of this data ready. So when your client, you're ready, you know, there it is right there. Come on. She said customer success, here I come. I know that's right. I'm in customer success. I know that's right. So let's talk about some of the roles. Let's just jump into it because we're talking about the ed tech companies that are hiring. Literally, we just went through what the applications and the examples were. Those are the ed tech companies that are hiring. The first thing I want you to do before you even start like going through the process, I want you to literally do what we did in that chat right there. I want you to write down every single apparatus, every single login, whatever, everything you use in your campus right now. And that is your hit list. That is where you're going to start. One, you're going to start there because you have the knowledge and the expertise because you've used those programs. So if you do get an interview, you can talk about how you can add value to that program, how you use the program, and how you can bring in insight that could possibly make it better for you as the user experience or for the next person that's going to have it. One, because you have educator experience, right? You know what it's like on the educator side, and you know what they need, and you bring that expertise and knowledge to that company. That company doesn't know anything about education, most likely. It's usually a CEO that started it, and then they got with a tech person, and they don't know anything about education. You hold the value when it comes to that. So I want y'all to realize, like, y'all think you just been teaching for 3 years or 5 years or whatever. No, you have expertise of what they need to make sure that program works for people that are going to be in that classroom. So your expertise is so valuable. All right. So some of the roles that you guys can start investigating and really looking into. And in my community, y'all, I'm always dropping information in depth about these roles so you can know if they're really for you. Right. The first one, I think my EdTech buddy said it in the comments, is customer success. Right? Customer success is a dope role where it's not sales. Well, it's not all sales. It does have a little bit of sales in it. But if you're really good with relationship building, if you're really good with making sure that you want to see the life cycle of something, and by that I mean you get the program and you're able to help people maneuver through it throughout that school year, that contract, customer success is really good for you. I would strongly suggest that one if you have good people skills and you're able to really you really have good communication skills. If not, customer success might not be for you. Yes, user experience. Yes, that is on my list too, girl. Come on, you on top of it. Instructional designer. A lot of educators are scared to get out of the classroom because they're like, all I've done is curriculum. Well, guess what? Instructional design is for you. Corporate training, right? Those companies, even like if you think about hospitals, like who is doing the corporate training when those people are onboarded and things of that nature? They need somebody to put a curriculum together. Who knows curriculum more than educators? I'll wait. Implementation specialist, right? So implementation specialist is someone who literally goes in and shows people how to implement that program. And let me ask you this, and y'all drop it in the comments. How many times have you went to a educator buddy or a school leader buddy and they said, I don't know how to do this? And you go in and you show them how to work that program from top to bottom. I know you've done it. That is what an implementation specialist literally does. So you've already done the work. You just don't have the title. Yes, I hate hearing people say that too. Well, all I know how to do is this, or I only know how to write curriculum. Do you know how much money people are making writing curriculum, and not for schools? I'm going to let that sit on y'all because people out here making bank off a skill set that, is not even as good as yours. And I literally made a post about this today. There's somebody with less talent and less belief in themselves that's getting that ed tech role that you're too afraid to apply for. I hope it hurts. I hope it hurts. Another one is solutions engineer. A lot of y'all don't know about that role, right? Solutions engineer, somebody that can go in and literally give companies the solutions for the programs or things of that nature. Who else can tell you that you created this program, but it doesn't work that well in this capacity? Who can tell you that better than a teacher who was in the classroom implementing that program? And I don't want to limit this conversation to teachers because I was a teacher, but I also have been a school administrator, right? So I want to make sure I bring us in the conversation because when I was looking to transition, all I saw was information for teachers. I didn't see information for people who were in the administrative seat. So I want to make sure that I'm bringing that to you guys too, because teachers are dope, but admins bring a lot of experience too. And, this is a space for us too. It's not just for teachers. All right. Yes, I consider myself a problem solver. And most educators do, right? Like we have 99 problems a day and we solve 98 of them by ourselves before we even call for an administrator, if I'm going to be honest. And I am an administrator. And as an administrator, if y'all have 99 problems, we have 199 problems. You know what I mean? So I hope y'all are seeing that like this space, I'm giving y'all insight to know that this space is for you. I'm not giving you fluff. I'm not giving you anything that you don't already know. But I think somebody needs to say it to you in a way that makes you understand that, like, if this is a cup full of experience, you're overflowing. You're overflowing. EdTech sales, right? So EdTech sales is pretty self-explanatory. When you think of that program, somebody had to come in and sell that program to that district or that organization. If you have really good, sales experience and things of that nature, EdTech sales is definitely going to be something that you can thrive in. And, if you may want to start in customer success and then go to EdTech sales. You can do whatever type of movement you want. It's not like when you're on a campus. You can really get good at this role, and then you can go over here to this role, and you can really just thrive, right? And one big perk about EdTech sales is you get commission. So they call them OTEs, on target earnings, right? So your salary may be $90,000 a year. You know for sure you're going to get that baseline. But your on target earnings could be $200,000 for the year. And if you hit your target, your salary is not $90,000. Your salary for that year is $290,000. Yep, I said that. I hope that blessed somebody. Another one is also let me see. What's another one that we have? Curriculum specialist. But I also want to talk about onboarding. Onboarding. So onboarding is literally what you do when you have that new teacher that's on your team, right? And you teach them everything, you show them the ropes, and you make sure they're ready for the school year, and you get them acclimated. Congratulations, you are an onboarding specialist. I'm not telling y'all nothing that you don't know. I need y'all to drop something in the chat if I'm making sense, because I feel like, am I talking to myself out here? Am I talking to myself, or am I just making this up? Educators have the skill set, y'all. Like, we are so dope, and we have been shat on. I'm gonna say shat. We have been shat on for so long because people at times just look at us like we're just teachers. We're just admin. No, baby. I wear 50 hats a day and I only get paid for one. And now that I'm on this side of EdTech, I don't like that for y'all. And I want y'all to come over here and do one job. And I want y'all to get paid well for it. Hello. So if you're coming in late on this live or you're watching it later, I am Derreka the Diva of Education. Spent 15 years in education, and then, and I was a teacher, instructional coach, all the good stuff, assistant principal. And then I made the move to pivot into EdTech, and I'm in love. So I want to give you guys all the things that I did to secure a role and all the things that I did to prepare myself to get into the space. If you're joining me now, make sure you follow, like, subscribe. I don't know which platform this is. Do all that because this is a community, and I'm literally going to create a community where you can ask questions, get your questions answered. You can get those gems, and you can be prepared to successfully step into the EdTech space without having to break the bank to do it, because I'm your girl and I got you. All right. So now let's talk about, I'm doing terrible with my presentation right here. Why educators are perfect for the role. Tap the screen, y'all. My girl is trying to tell y'all, right? Because she's next, and we're gonna do one of these together as soon as she crosses over to this space. But the next thing is right here, y'all. Why educators are perfect for the EdTech role. Well, one, it's immersed in education, K through 12 for the most part. They also have higher ed too. So if you're trying to get into the higher ed space, they have EdTech that is for that as well as corporate, right? So no matter where you want to go, you can thrive here. Yes, I truly say this about educators, and y'all don't give yourself enough credit, and I have been there. We are literally experts in whatever field. I taught math. I was a math teacher, and I could teach math to a snail, right? And do you know how much skills that takes? First of all, kids hate math. So if you can teach math, you can sell. I'm just saying. But one thing about it is you've already trained and coached others, and you didn't even realize you were doing it. Even when you were quote unquote helping, right? You were helping other teachers. You were actually training them, and you were coaching them, and probably onboarding them too, because it's sink or swim in the education field, right? So that's the first thing. You also have the ability to have cross collaborative communication. So you're able to talk to people in different departments, different teams, sometimes different communities, and you're able to bring all of these people together in order for the common goal, which is to educate, right? Which is to have this student be successful, this school be successful, whatever the case is. You're able to do that already. So that's not something you need to be trained on. You actually come into the space being able to do that. So when we think of cross-curricular teams, like this is cross-collaboration amongst departments, right? So we just have to train our mind like to transfer the way we communicate it because we're doing the same thing. The other thing, and this is a big one, y'all, data. We can dissect some data like that. Put some data in front of us. I can tell you the increase, the decrease, the difference. I can tell you all that. And not because I'm a math girl. I can tell you that because I know how to analyze data. So with that being said, people pay big bucks just for people to be in analytics. You know what I mean? Just to be able to look at your stuff and break down what it is. And the beauty about us, not only can we break it down, we can also come up with a plan to fix it and make it better and remediate it. Right? So if you can do that for a classroom, what do you think you can do for a business? Yeah. Yep. And also, you already are into tech. You manage, you troubleshoot, you do all those things inside of your classroom 7 times a day for some people, 4 times a day, 7 times a day. You do that with about, 300 stakeholders daily? And that's a small number. So these are the things, some people are doing that in a year. You do that every day. When you start to think about it and you say it out loud, it sounds crazy, doesn't it? I know it does. And this is the one that is going to get you the most bang for your buck. You solve problems daily. I want you to sit and think about today, if you were in a classroom or on the campus, how many problems did you solve? That silence was for a reason. How many problems did you solve today? I remember there was a time where I felt like I was literally solving 1,000 problems a day, big or small. They were still problems. People were coming to me with questions, problems every single day. And you did that, and you did that with a smile, and you went back to doing the other 50 million things that you had to do. Like, y'all, working in EdTech is going to be nothing compared to working on campus. It's easy. Like, you've done this before, and you've done it with ease. So, yeah. I just want you to really think about the only thing that really holds teachers and admin and educators back is you lack the ability to speak in a transferable way. You're already doing it. You just need the language to be able to speak how you're doing it to a company in the way that they're doing it. We call those transferable skills. That's the only thing that you are lacking. Like, you lack nothing else. You have all of the skill set. You just got to be able to articulate it in a way that they truly understand. And I got you. And a way that I'm helping you do that, y'all, is I'm doing an EdTech word of the week. I do it every Wednesday. I literally have made a YouTube video, Instagram video, TikTok video, whatever it is. I made it so you guys can not only see the word, you can learn the word, and I break down how that word aligns with each pathway that you want to take. So when you're going out and you're getting ready to interview, if you literally look at my videos, you are prepared and know how to go out and articulate this, so it shows that, this word and how it segues into being an onboarding specialist. I got you. I got you. Now, the way that you pay me back is you interact, and you share this with other educators. So I need to see y'all sharing this with people that is ready to get out of education. They tired and they ready to go. If you love your girl, you'll do that. That's all I need you to do. Don't pay me nothing. Just share it with your people, because they need to be in a space where they have mental clarity. They have work balance. They have a life balance. You know what I mean? They're able to love what they do again. And they are paid for it, because I want to see y'all get paid. I want that for y'all. All right, so I'm gonna give y'all some tips because I love y'all so much, right? I'm gonna give y'all some tips on how you can pivot into EdTech, and these are very light tips, but if you really take them and you really start working on them, this is gonna lead you in the right way. So I need you to get out your pencils, your pen, your piece of paper, all that, and I need you to jot this down because I'm only gonna say it once. Well, y'all know I'll say it again, but today. All right, the first thing I need you to do is something that I've talked about countless times on this live. I need you to identify your transferable skills, right? What are you good at? What do you naturally do? What have you done year after year after year after year? Do not sit here and say it. Somebody said in the chat, do not sit here and say, oh, I just taught math. No, you didn't. You didn't just teach math. Come on, notes. You know what? That's why I love working with my educators. Baby girl, dropped it down in the comments. Now, you can't say you didn't get it. Come on, notes. 1, identify your transferable skills. That is the first thing you need to do. And if you don't do that, you're going to be lost throughout this whole process. All right? The second thing, and learn about the most common EdTech roles. So learn about the most common roles that you hear all the time. Customer success, EdTech sales, right? Implementation specialist. We call that learning and development. So it's really 3 roles: customer success, EdTech sales, learning and development. Learn about those areas right there. Learn about the common roles in EdTech so you can start focusing on them and get in there, right? Yes, I do remember you, Sincere. So that just lets y'all know I really was an assistant principal. I got my old students in here. Telling all my business. All right, the third thing you're going to do, and this is important, is you're going to have to revamp that resume. Revamp that resume and revamp that LinkedIn. A teacher resume is not a corporate resume. And I'm going to help you out with that, so don't worry about it. Now, I am a beast with resumes, but I'm not a resume writer. But I know people that are, so I'm going to bring them on this live, and I'm going to make sure, not this live, but I'm going to bring them in on the live and some other things when I have my community up and running, and they're going to be able to help you, literally, rebuild your resume. Or you can contract with them and do, they're out there mowing the grass. They can do it for you. All right. The fourth thing, and this is important, as y'all can tell, I'm the shyest person you ever met. Right. You have to network, and you network. Let me tell y'all what people usually forget. They want to network up, right? You have to remember, network across. For example, with me, when I was networking, I had sorors. I'm a part of 2 sororities, right? First sorority I'm a part of is Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. The second sorority I'm a part of is Gamma Sigma Sigma National Service Sorority Incorporated. Whew. All right? I knew that somebody in that area had a connect. And if they didn't, they knew somebody that had a connect. And if they didn't, somebody that knew somebody that somebody had a connect, and they can come back to me. Literally, you are, it's, what is it, 6 degrees of separation? You're only 6 people away from something or some whatever that you want. So people always focus on going up, like to the top. They want to be with the president. They want to be with this. When you can just network across and get a referral from somebody that can bring it back to you, and you're more likely to network, right? Do not be afraid to network. People are on LinkedIn to network. They're not there to sit up there and wave at you. They know what they're on there for. So be assertive. Don't be aggressive. Be assertive and let it be known that you're trying to network. You're here to get a job. You're not here to play, right? And the 5th thing I would say is you have to stay encouraged. Okay? You are going to get a lot of no's. I got 20 rejection emails before I got a yes. I'm going to say that again. I got 20 rejection emails before I got a yes. Now, I knew I was dope. I knew I was going to be amazing. They didn't, but if they didn't pick me to be on their team, or they didn't call me back for an interview or something like that, it's their loss. I know who I am and what I bring, right? And your time will come, but your time will never come if you stop. The one thing I can guarantee is this: if you fail to keep trying, you're going to be in the same classroom, in the same department, doing the same thing next year. And to me, that wasn't an option. That was not an option. I went so hard that I actually was able to transition in 2 months and 1 day. Literally. 2 months and 1 day I secured a role. So I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about these EdTech streets. And I did it with little to no help. And I refuse to let that be y'all. So I'm here to give y'all all the insight and all the game that I have. So I went over a minute because, your girl loves to talk. She's a former teacher. But I wanted to make sure every Monday, I know I'm on the wrong day today, but every Monday I'm going to go live and I'm going to have a topic. Any questions you guys have, I'm going to answer them. I always do a Q&A session at the end, which I'm about to do now. But I want to let y'all know that I am building an amazing community for you guys. The community is literally for us. People, it's going to be a safe place where if you want to talk about transitioning to EdTech, it's going to be for you. I'm always going to drop gems for you. And I'm actually making a group for us as we speak, so you guys can get all of the information you need and not have to go everywhere looking for it, right? The other thing is, in that group that I'm going to make, I'm going to have 3 people that I do one-on-one coaching with for free, right? So you just got to be a part of the group and engage in the group to get the free one-on-one. And I'm going to be your one-on-one coach until you get a role, right? So if that takes us 2 days or if that takes us a year, which we are not speaking that into existence, I'm going to be here to help you transition into that space. All you have to do is just engage with me, like, comment, share, and then join the community. That's all you have to do. And I got you. So right now I'm going to open up for any questions. I know this was very quick right here, the notes, but I love to present things to y'all. I didn't want to just write it down on a whiteboard. I want it to be nice and cute and fancy for y'all. Any questions that you guys have for me as it relates to what is EdTech, or some questions that you guys have about EdTech, I'm here to answer anything for the next 5 or so minutes. Drop them down in the comments. And if you are looking to get into EdTech, make sure you drop that laptop so I can know when I see you. I can say what's up to you, check in on you, and make sure that you are doing okay in these transition streets, as we call it. So, again, I love that all of you guys are considering this space. This is a beautiful space to be in, and I'm so happy that I didn't quit, and now I'm able to give you guys this free game. So thank you guys for joining me. I know that you could be doing anything else, but you're here listening to me rant. Are most EdTech positions remote? So yes, that's one of the beauties of EdTech. The majority of them are remote. Now, if you're having a hard time, because the remote ones are very competitive, right? If you're having a hard time getting a remote position, what I would suggest that you do is look at hybrids, right? You might be in office 2 days, and you might be out of office 3 days, right? Hybrid is a great option. And then once you get that experience, you get that on your resume, you learn a few skills and you know how to make them transferable. Go get a remote job. Literally, you're not under contract, y'all. You can get up and move. The best time to look for a job is when you have a job. There's no pressure, right? I'm just saying. And in this situation, your certification won't get pulled. You just found a better opportunity that makes more money. So go. But that was a really good question. Are most of the jobs remote? And yes, most of them are remote. And depending on which pathway you go into, some of them actually have travel to it. So you can go and sightsee a little bit after you work, and you're not paying for any of it. So why not? I know I would. Well, I know I do. Hello, make it a day trip, Okay, but any other questions that you guys have about EdTech, anything with my personal story, definitely willing to share how I got into the space and everything else. While I'm waiting on questions, something else that I am doing, I am dropping a podcast for you guys where you will hear from me, my stories, the things that I've learned. I'm putting this in every format for you guys. And I will also make sure that I have people on there that can speak to their experiences of how they got into EdTech, how it's changed their lives, and things of that nature. So it's not just one-sided. I want you to hear from other people. And I will have a special guest next month on here where you guys can literally just fire off and ask us questions about EdTech and any questions you have or any struggles that you're having. And we can try to help you as much as we can. So the community should be open. I'm working hard, y'all. The community should be open in May. And it's going to be dope. And we can just sit around and really help one another. And I want to make sure I have people who have transitioned, right? The success stories that will come from that group, they're going to be like the alums. They're going to stay there and they're going to be there to help and network. So people don't just get what they get and they go. No, I'm making a community where we will literally help and give back so everybody can be happy and transition into spaces that they feel like they belong in. All right, so I don't think I have any more questions. I'm gonna hop on another one of these on another platform, but thank you guys for attending my live, and make sure that you interact with me. That is my payment. Interact with me, share, like, all that good stuff, so I can continue to give you all of the information that I have. I truly adore each of you, and I wish you the best, and I just want you to know that you can do this. Do not let a no tell you that you don't belong. Remember, you're only one yes away from changing your life. All right, so this is Derreka the Diva of Education. I will see you guys next Monday with a new topic. And don't forget about Wednesday is the EdTech Word of the Week. Like that video and share this with all of our soon-to-be EdTech buddy friends and educators who are burnt out and ready to go. Love you guys so much. Bye.